What's going on, guys? I am Kevin Muller from Cinephellas, and I am the movie guy here. And if you have not seen any of my other videos, I do a segment called 7 with Kevin, where I am watching most of the movies, not all. I don't have much time, but I'm watching movies in 2023 that I have missed before I write my best and worst list of that year. For you horror fans, today is your lucky day because I am going to review 8. Yes, you're getting 8 today. Movies that are in the horror genre that I missed, and I will catch you up right now. As always, we start from bottom and work our way up. So, what has the lowest rating for these batch of movies? It is Five Nights at Freddy's. Now, I don't know the game other than like a surface level knowledge of it, but this one's just not good. It's a dud. And I talked to my students who are a little more obsessed with this game, to say the least, and they said it was ass. But my personal opinion is the animatronics in this film are so good. And I'm so glad that the writer and the directors and the production designers decided to do this. It adds points to this movie, but it also adds atmosphere and you buy into everything better. I always feel that when something's physically in front of you, in front of the camera, it looks a lot better than something that, has just been CGI'd into there. The problem with this movie is the story. It is not a good story. It is unengaging. It is stupid. It is everything negative about screenwriting. The dialogue is horrible too. Just not a good story. So everything outside of the animatronics is very lackluster. Josh Hutcherson, I love Josh Hutcherson. He's a great actor. He is sleepwalking through this film. And the only one who kind of seemed to understand what they were in was Matthew Lillard, sorry. He's pretty good here, but anytime the animatronics are not on the screen, you feel the running time, you see the flaws, and just it's not scary, it's corny and bad. And I'm gonna give this one 2 out of 5 hair pieces. Lizzie Kaplan and Anthony Starr are 2 fantastic actors. Lizzie Kaplan was in Mean Girls, and she was Annie Wilkes, the young Annie Wilkes on Castle Rock, where she did a really good Kathy Bates impersonation. Then you have Anthony Starr, Homelander, he's crazy, he's psychotic, all behind the smile. Now, this movie takes those 2 aspects of those 2 actors and builds a movie around it. Here, they play parents of a young boy who starts hearing voices within the house they live in. The family has a dark secret. What could it be? Kaplan and Starr give a lot to this movie because this movie just, as the runtime goes, it hits every cliche, it hits every horror trope. And, the reveal is kind of stupid. The design on the reveal person or I'm not going to creature, whatever, is not that good. For you fans of South Park, all I'm going to say is Simpsons did it. And I'm going to give this one 2.5 out of 5 hair pieces. Patrick Wilson has been with the Insidious series since its conception. And here in Insidious, The Red Door, which I believe is the 4th entry in the franchise, he is behind the director's chair. He's given it a shot. So how'd he do? How's the movie? Well, the movie takes one of the younger kids from the first 2 movies and ages him to college level. And he takes the trauma of the experiences of the first 2 movies with him. And that's where the horror comes in. And that's where the scares come in. And that's where some pretty decent set pieces are done by Wilson. It's not a life-changing experience, but there are a few cool concepts. Specifically, I liked one involving a painting. And, but the thing here that lacks is everything outside of those scares. That's a pretty good story, exploring the trauma of one of the younger characters now aged into an adult. He doesn't have the same oomph there that he has when he's directing these horror scenes. It's not a bad movie. I would be interested to see what Patrick Wilson does as a director moving forward. Not even directing another one of these, but jump into another genre or maybe do another horror movie. It's an okay movie, and I'm going to give this one 3 out of 5 hair pieces. Right off the bat, I would say that The Nun 2 is 10 times better than the first one. The first one, which came out in 2008, I thought was terrible. It hit every cliche, and it was just a badly made film. But what the hell do I know? Because it made so much money, and this one made a lot of money too. And it's kind of cool that Vera Farmiga and her sister Thaisa Farmiga, who plays Sister Irene in here. They kind of have like a monopoly on horror movies. You know, Vera is in The Conjuring, and Thaisa is here. I've enjoyed Thaisa in horror. You know, she was in American Horror Story season one. She was one of the leads, and she was in Coven and Apocalypse. Good actress, fits well physically, and the way she acts into horror movies quite well. And here, the strength of this movie is the characters, because you have Sister Irene going to some boarding school to investigate a murder of a priest by a demonic force. And you run into the students, specifically one student, you run into a teacher, and you also run into a groundskeeper who is basically connected to the events of the film a little more than they let on at the beginning of the film. And it's an interesting story. You know, again, these characters are not getting some great emotional arc. You know, they're doing their job, they're playing well into the typicalness of it. And you know, again, I maybe am a little biased because I went in really thinking it was going to be as bad as the first one, but director Michael Chavez does some pretty decent set pieces here. You know, it does still contain those jump scares and like the heightened music at certain points, but I enjoyed this one, and I'm going to give this one 3 out of 5 hair pieces. Possibilities that could be created with the plot of Dracula being a stowaway stuck into a box on a ship. These people have to basically go across the ocean to deliver whatever's in that box. They don't know, we know. You know, it's a great story, and I thought the production design was very good. I thought the costumes were well done. The movie does a good job of pulling you into this world. The violence is there. The violence is there, and the blood is there. And I'll tell you something: this movie is ruthless with the violence, and it does not care who or what its victims are. They're going down. If if Dracula sees you on that ship, you're going down. But my main problem with this movie is the characters are really stupid. It's like they read a book, What Not to Do Against the Vampire 101. In result, you know, some of this is well done. David Desmalchin is doing good work here. Corey Hawkins is doing well, and Aisling Franciosi, who was in The Nightingale and stop motion, she's doing pretty good here too. But I just couldn't get over how stupid these people were, despite the great production design. And I am going to give this one 3 out of 5 hair pieces. All right, my next two movies are both 4-star movies, or 4 hair piece movies, I should say, because they contain very good character work, and that's something I look for when I'm watching horror. Because if you don't care about who's dying, you know, what's the point outside of a momentary thrill of seeing someone getting decapitated, stabbed, you know, anyway, that person's going to go out. And the first one I'm going to talk about is Boogeyman. You have Chris Messina, Sophie Thatcher, Lyra Blair playing a father who's widowed with 2 daughters. They're selling this aspect of the film, and they're coming face to face with their feelings about their mother's death. Director Rob Savage has really cool tricks. One involving a video game to heighten the scares. I really like that one. It was really cool. David Desmalchin, guy's popping up in every horror movie. He does some really good work here too. And again, I'm going to give this one 4. And my second 4-star movie is called It Lives Inside. It Lives Inside. Sorry. The traditions of an Indian American teenager are basically mixed in, you know, are tested, I'm sorry, against her mother, society, and the evil entity in this movie. Director and writer Vishal Dutta does a beautiful job of integrating the traditions that he knows into a horror movie. I also like to give a shout out to Megan Suri and Neera Bajwa, who play the mother and daughter. Conflicting ideals, rebellion, you know, stuff that exists in every culture, not just this one. But you know, you have a little extra here with Dutta mixing what he knows about his Indian culture into this film. I thought it was a really good movie. Had very well done, very well directed. Interested to see what else he does. And again, I'm going to give this one 4 out of 5 hair pieces. I cannot believe Saw 10 is on the top of my list for this batch of movies. This is a series I have a very conflicted relationship with. You know, the first Saw is one of my favorite experiences as a moviegoer. Second one was pretty good too, but I think from 3 on, they're just they're on autopilot, and yeah, you basically can throw something in to mix up the narrative, but it all feels similar. But here, what makes this one stand out is Tobin Bell, who plays John Kramer, aka Jigsaw. Here, we're given a little more depth to him. Yes, we get glimpses of his life in the other ones, but he is the main character here. And he is actually kind of an anti hero here because I have not seen this movie before. I did not see anything big about this movie before I saw it. Kind of went in blind, and I'm going to give you the benefit by not saying a lot about the plot, but the people he goes up against are as vile as, or maybe more than he is. So it's kind of cool. You're rooting for Jigsaw, and the leader of this group is really vile. And I would like to just shout out the performer. I don't want to say her name just in case you go to IMDb and look her up, and then it's basically ruined. But very good performance. Really was rooting against her. I was kind of like, I'm siding with the serial killer. Oh my god. Of course, the blood's there, the gore's there, the traps are there, all great. I want them to continue the way they're doing this for the next one because Saw 11's coming out this year. But you know what? I'm gonna live in the moment, and I'm gonna enjoy. I enjoyed this. I'm gonna tell you to watch it, and you know what? I'm gonna give this one 4.5 out of 5 hair pieces. Really like this one. Really enjoyed it. All right. So next review, it will be a solo one where I just do a video and the written review on one specific movie from this list. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I will give you a hint. It stars a young actress whose career should have been as big as a galaxy far, far away. But unfortunately, she has never matched the financial success of those movies that made her popular. She is a likable actress, and if you know the movie I'm talking about, that's the next one. If not, tune in next time when I basically cover that one. All right, guys, come to the website, drop a like, comment, subscribe to YouTube channel, Cinephellas.com, and I believe we're on Instagram too. And you know what? I'm Kevin Muller. I'm going to go drink a margarita. And as we say on this site, cheers.